Hello YouTube, it's me DJ Winza. As you can tell by the thumbnail, I'm not exactly in a good mood. Something that my wonderful girlfriend posted reminded me of a situation that I'm in, and that she's in, and that everyone that I know that is in my generation that didn't have rich parents is in. And that's basically, it's a meme. I'm not going to put it on screen or anything because I don't feel like doing any extra work before I get this shit up. It's something from Tumblr. Someone's like, millennial goals and dreams are so minimal. I want to drive a car that doesn't break down all the time. Or, I want to one day consider buying a place instead of renting. Or, I'd like to not be in so much debt. We're the least entitled generation, but we get the most shit. Another person is like, the truth in this, though. And yet another person says, the other day I started thinking about all the things I would do if I had a ton of money. They were almost all about paying off debt, buying a house, fixing my car, and getting more education for a better job. The most frivolous thing was getting a dog. Now, after I, hit share, I decided I'm going to write a post. And originally it was just going to be a little short dingle about it. About, people who grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, experiencing the same issues. And I'm going to read it verbatim. It's more than just the millennials that feel this way. A good number of folks born in the late 80s, late 70s, early 80s have been handed these giant debt and lodestone sandwiches and told they aren't an adult yet if they aren't living on their own without government assistance. I've been forced for the third time in my life to turn to the government for food stamps because even though I've filled out more applications for jobs than worked hours at my literally minimum wage part-time job, I've gotten one interview and one phone call outside of that interview. I call so many places and get told, oh, well, we'll call you when we have a position available. Or, we're accepting applications, which basically means we'll let you write shit down on a piece of paper for 10 minutes, and then we'll just toss it out in the trash. And I gotta think, wow, so you really had a help wanted sign out front, or set up a post on Craigslist, or paid for an advertisement on Monster, or any of the other multiple websites I've gone to looking for jobs, but you for some reason don't have an open position. Anyhow, what I was trying to say is, unless your family could afford to send you to college, you are financially crippled and either have to hope for a miracle or hope to make little enough to be able to get government assistance. Fun part here is if you make just a smidge too much, all your money gets poured into one thing: schooling, rent, vehicle, while everything else suffers. If I had a bunch of money, like infinite cash flow for one day, I'd do exactly what they mention in that post. Pay off debts, buy a home, buy a decent low-gas mileage car, and pay for a 4-year college ahead of time. I wouldn't even get the frivolous dog they mention. Fun part of this is maybe 1 or 2 people will actually watch this video, that I actually know. I definitely know none of the people that think I'm lazy because I'm stuck in a part-time minimum wage job. no matter what I fucking do, none of them will watch this video. None of them will hear what I'm telling you, the person watching this video right now. Not a single person who has ever judged me will watch this. And if they do, they'll watch the first 30 seconds and be like, I don't give a fuck what he has to say. Click. But I'm not the only one experiencing these issues. Sure, a couple of the people I know that are experiencing these issues really are assholes and kind of deserve it, but not all of them are. I have a friend who had to basically hope and pray that she could get her son into a daycare so that she could get a 9-to-5 job, because the care of the child was literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and she was by herself. She had a 1-day-a-week job that someone was charging her half her paycheck just to spend 1 day watching her son. That's it. Half her friggin' paycheck every week went to just someone watching her son for 5 hours. And it was disgusting that that kind of shit was happening to her. I have 3 friends that I used to live with in North Carolina. If you guys are watching this, I love you guys and I miss you. But anyhow, because they've been stuck in part-time minimum wage positions, they literally have no choice but to live all together under the same roof. And none of them can really leave because altogether they can't even afford all the bills that go along with the house they're currently living with, or currently living in. Individually, none of them could pull it off on their own at all. And it's because currently we live in a fucking economy that used to be one minimum wage full-time job could afford a 2-bedroom apartment and food for 2 people. Now, we live in an economy where a full-time minimum wage job, which I don't even have a full-time minimum wage job. I wish they gave me full-time. I signed up for full-time. But anyway, we live in an economy where even a full-time job can't even afford a 1-bedroom apartment. I struggle doing a rent-a-room. Because 75% of what I bring in monthly goes to my rent for a room. 1 fucking room. That's it. That's what my rent goes towards. And 75% of my income goes to that. And people think, oh, well, why don't you just go pound the pavement? I have. I may be at home recording a fucking video because I'm fucking pissed off about something, but I have. I have consistently gone out, pounded the pavement, as people have said, looking for a job. If the place doesn't literally tell you when you walk in, hey, we'd like to hire you, then guess what? You're going to be sitting there for 2 fucking weeks, minimum, waiting for someone to call you back because they just got to your application. Oh, are you still looking for a job? I had, after I moved here to where I am now, this background you see behind me, I had every job that I applied for, well, no, 4 of the jobs, the decent jobs, the ones that would have been nice to have, and then they told me how little I'd actually be making, and I was like, well, I don't feel so bad telling you that I don't live there anymore. I had jobs that I applied for in February. It's August right now, and they called me mid-July. Jobs I applied for in February, call me. I had already not only started a new job, which I got to replace an old job that had cut my hours, but I also took a $5 pay cut to start this job, and they started giving me the exact same fucking hours. If a job claims that it's full-time, it should give you full-time, and not give you that, oh, well, no one works full-time. Bullshit, they don't. The managers work full-time. I can work full-time. If one manager, just one, can work full-time, all your employees can. And don't give me that bullshit about, oh, well, you know, we can't afford it. Fucking fire some people. Fire the shittiest employees and give more hours to the good employees. I give my current job 15 years worth of experience doing what I do. I have customers constantly commenting about how good I am, how fast I am, telling me at times I should probably slow down because I'm moving too fast to help them. Because they're not used to someone actually working hard for them. Yet I'm only paid minimum wage. And I'll be told by someone who's rich and hasn't actually lifted a goddamn finger to make their money for years, tell me, oh, you're making minimum wage because you don't work that hard. Alright, I'm done with this fucking rant. I'm fucking tired of living in a goddamn economy where this shit can, where I even have to bring this shit up. I'm tired of it. Fucking disgusted by it. Tell me what you think. Comments are down below. I'm out. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Groovy, we beat the effing mission again. Hooray! I'm reveling.